Hi guys, welcome back. It's your girl Yummy.com. Thank you for joining me on a fan journey. Thank you for liking, subscribing, just being here, vibing, all of that and more. Thank you for joining me on my fan journey. I haven't done a fan journey in a while, but I figured since I am rounding out my 1 year anniversary of becoming a Carat.
Slight band to the time of life. Slight band to the time of life. Slight band to the time of life.
I should talk about my fan journey of 17. 17 right here. Basically, I started, okay, let's start at the very beginning.
They say, if you want to tell a story right, you gotta start at the beginning.
I am a fan of a show called Knowing Brothers. I watched it. I think I got hooked on it because I watched the episode that BTS was on, and then I just continued to watch all the episodes. I keep up with it weekly as much as I can. It's on Netflix, and you can also watch it illegally, whatever. But I try and keep up with it as much as I can. I love the show. One of the episodes that I did end up wandering off and watching is in fact the 17 episode.
17이면은 17명이어야 되는 거 아니야? 니네
아이 수가 왜 그러니? 아이 이게 레전드 우리 슈퍼주니어들은 슈퍼맨이냐?
First 17 episode where they had to guess each of their names. They had to figure out who was the leader, who was this, who was that, all this stuff. And I fell in love with Ming Hao, the 8. I fell in love with like kind of the dynamic he had with everyone.
아니라고 얘기하면 되잖아. 아니야. 근데 네가 속들였잖아. 아니 그럼 하는 척 하라고.
I didn't like really know or focus on anyone else. I was just so enamored by him. He looked so much like that one actor.
이거 돼? 이거 막 덤블링하고 이걸 한번 보여줘. 안경
They say it in the episode as well, and I was just so enamored by him. So that was kind of my intro into 17. And then going on, I like started to really be enamored by Ming Hao. I would make videos and like see him dancing and talk about him dancing in other videos where I'm like, doing generalizations. But then eventually, like, I was like, okay, I've never like gotten into 17. Like, come on, Yummy, like. They're under hype, you might as well. So I actually started to get into 17. I would say I am what you would call a Face the Sun Carat. I hopped on board once they dropped Face the Sun. I started to really be enamored with them. They had the singles, they had everything on the Face the Sun album.
When you're not here, 911 calling. Into your heat again, I'm darling you, baby.
They had Hot. Again, I think I was again lured in by Ming Hao and his bright red hair and Hot. And I was like, okay, well, like, let's see what this is about. Let's see what the vibe is. Let's see how we're going to, catch on and how we feel about everyone. And as I watched the video, I was like, wow, he's cute too. Wow, they're really good. I'm not really loving the song too much, but I appreciate the vibes that they're putting out, kind of badass vibes. And then from there, I was like, okay, let me listen to the album. And Don Quixote and March quickly became two of my favorite songs ever in K-pop. I just wanna feel the vibes holding up and 내가 미쳐도 좋아 feeling you hold it 사람들이 손가락질이 ain't real don't let me out it's real 미쳤다 해도 좋아 내 모든 걸 불태워봐 so call me Don Quixote 사람들은 내가 이상하게 나만 잘 붙잡아와 And so I was like, okay, well, I can't just jump it. I need to know where I'm landing, what's happening, what's going on. And the next video I think I watched, and I'm gonna pull it up to make sure, I think it's the Jimmy Kimmel video. I think it was just next up in the queue. Yes, it is the Jimmy Kimmel set live, Ready to Love. It was I don't know when it was posted, but I saw them do that, and that was the next video I kind of like just clicked on because I was like, okay, I've seen Hot, I like them, I've listened to a couple of their songs, what's this next thing? There's a video right here. Click. I clicked it, and boy, was I entirely, stupidly, foolishly, enamoredly wrong. I had like tried to dive into 17 at certain points. I do nice for myself a couple times, like, you know, try to figure out what the fuck that was. But when I clicked on this video, my whole life changed in 1 second when a beautiful blonde man crossed the stage seemingly like water to look at me in a tan beret and a beige outfit. All I want to do is run away, cause you are mine. And then he pops his body like, escape, babe.
All I wanna do is run away, cause you are my escape, babe. Love is no, we need the double warning, hey.
Hard eyes, motherfucker.
This is it. This is feminism. We've won.
And he continues to go on, and I just found myself kicking my feet in my bed and rewatching that part 100 times. I didn't even make it through the whole video. I just kept rewatching that part, and I was like, but I was like, me? Like, I was like giggling. And yes, I am talking about S-Coups. I felt the betrayal start to bubble in my heart. I was like, I thought Big Hal was my bias. Well, he could be my bias wrecker, because this is a lot for me. I made it through the whole video miraculously, and then I was like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I love Knowing Brothers. I know they have a couple other episodes on Knowing Brothers, so I'm gonna watch those. So I watched all the episodes that they were on Knowing Brothers. I found them to be hilarious.
승철아 이렇게 불러야 돼?
그렇지.
이름 부른다고 그 삐지는 건 반칙인데.
알겠어, 강호동. 그래서 그게
And that's when I was like, okay, so I know I like their personalities kind of. I'm not getting enough of everybody, because Knowing Brothers is like, you know, they pick the best bits, and, you know, there are more who are more variety forward. Sukwon, like, you know, Ming Hao, especially on Knowing Brothers, there are some that are more variety forward. The second episode actually gave you like more space to learn about who they are, but it just wasn't enough for me. It wasn't enough. So at the second episode, I watched it, I ran through it, I started to listen to their music, not in like sequential order. I would just, I went to the album that Ready to Love was on, and then I like would listen through that, and then like I started to like go through music videos, and then I would go through guides. I went to the super long guide, the super long 17 guide that has the 4 parts, the general part, hip hop part, performance part, vocals part. So I went to that, I watched that entire thing. I started watching other people reacting to the super long guide, and I just started to consume so much. And then all of a sudden I had a little welcome to Carat Land thing on my thing, and all of a sudden there's a giant poster of them above my bed, and all of a sudden there's a giant poster of S-Coups right here. And it was a quick snowball descent into hell. And the music obviously got me into it. I really started to vibe with the music, but I wasn't getting enough music quickly. I was just obsessing over certain songs for a really long time. And then I found out that they have a variety show called Going 17. And I was like, what better way to learn more about their personalities and their interpersonalities with each other than to watch this? I watched BTS run like religiously, and I loved it, so why not try this? So I watched Going 17. The first couple episodes on their channel didn't have subtitles, so I was like kind of discouraged for a little bit, and then I kept going, and then I fell in love, and I was like, this is everything. These people are insane. These are my people. Who are these theater kids? Who are these theater kids who are my people? Because like, while I love BTS, there's always an air of like, they know better than me, you know? Not like they give off that air, but I'm like, Namjoon is a genius. Like, half of them are older than me. Namjoon is a genius. Like, most of them are musical geniuses and talented. And this group, it was like most of them are younger than me. And also, yes, they're smart and talented, but they're also dumb as fuck. Like, they're just like me, my dumb ass. Like, you know. What I'm basically trying to say is that they give off star kid crackhead energy. Like, they are the theater kids that I would hang out with in the lighting department when I was doing lighting and sound for our school play, and like maybe one time would star in it because my theater friends convinced me. Like, and they would be the theater friends that would convince me. Like, from their performances, like the theatricality of Home Run and literally all of their other videos, all of their music videos are so theatrical. And, you know, their personalities as well, like, are just like inner workings. Like, I want to cast them as theater kids. They like who would be, Wano would be in charge of the lighting department. Scoops would be stage manager for sure. Sugwon would be the reluctant lead, but he would be pretending to be reluctant. Like, these are the theater kids that I grew up with and that I love so much. And that's just why it feels very one-to-one rather than any other group. The first real episode I connected with was the episode when they did the MBTI testing. I wasn't really into it super, and then when they started to do the room where they would scare them and Scoop started getting all nervous, I was like, oh no, I think I'm in love. I think I'm in trouble. And then, like, through the guides, I learned that he was from Daegu, and I was like, I knew it! Daegu is the bane of my existence. Why do they produce such hot men who act like toddlers but are also geniuses? I don't know. I started to just consume a lot of their content, and that's kind of how I fell down the Carat hole. I just started after Going 17. I would also find songs through Going 17. One of my favorite songs by 17 ever is Our Dawn is Hotter Than Your Day, and I found that because I was like, what is this background music they're using? It's so good. In Going 17, I was like, this song is so good. What? Why are they using somebody else's song? And I like Shazammed it on my phone. And I was like, no, it's their song.
마지막에 풀어야겠다.
모두 잠든 밤 이리 아름다운가 달빛에 담아낸 너의 미소가 어두운 밤을 빛내 파도 같은 웃음소리 귀를 간지럽혀.
And then once I found that song, I found that album, I listened to that whole album, and then I just like started to get into their solo stuff, which was enamoring because at that point, like, Spider had been out, Ruby is out, like, Side by Side, which is one of my favorite songs. Their unit songs, Liliaba, like, Moonwalker, like, there's so many things out. And at this point, they had already, like, were, like, leaving. They had a show in New York, and I just wasn't paying attention. I was so focused on like other stuff, and I missed it. And this one girl was like, Scoops was at the bar in DC. Girl, you should have been there. I said, why not me, Lord? Why not me? But it was like my own fault. But it was just wild. Basically, like, I kind of just missed the ball on that one because I wasn't super heavy into it, but now I am, and I'm like, duh, this happens every time. But regardless, I'm now officially a baby Carat for a year. I love them so much. They're so talented. Their music is insane. I think that Woozi is a genius. I think that it's a group of genuinely funny, hilarious friends, and I love that. And it's one of the things why I love about most of the groups that I like are like a group of funny, hilarious friends. BTS, Dreamcatcher, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, like, they all have that in common. Card, like, they all have that in common. They're all just a group of funny, like, hilarious friends that just happen to be super talented. But yeah, so officially my bias is S-Coups. I have Ming Hao and Woozi. Woozi is my top bias wrecker. Ming Hao is up there, Hoshi is up there, Joshua is up there, and Junghan sometimes like sneaks in, along with DK.
Getting everyone in the front row pregnant. And for fucking what, dude?
The first agenda item would be whores. They're whores. But in like a good way. Like that was some of the sluttiest sacrilegious bullshit I've ever seen in my life tonight, and I ate up every fucking minute of it. I loved it.
Like Junghan, Seungwon, and DK, like they like try and claw their way into my bias record list, but like I'm trying to stay pretty solid and firm on that. But with that being said, I love Carat. I love 17. I think that one of my favorite things about the fandom is the relationship that 17 and Carat have with each other. Like when Hoshi got into a dating scandal with that male actor, everyone other than Carat was like, what? Oh my gosh, what? Carrots were like,
it's about time you start dating. He's getting pretty old. Like, he's getting up there. He should start dating, obviously. And also, like, why are you dropping all these clues? Like, just tell us. Like, we're not trying to put the pieces together, Hoshi. Just tell us. We don't have time. We're busy building our building blocks and creating new languages. Like, we just, like, it's too, like, just tell us, baby boy. Like, ugh.
So it's very funny. When Vernon got into a dating scandal, they were like, well, that's why he started dressing better, because he started dating a stylist. Duh. Like,
Carat's reaction to Vernon's dating thoughts. Let him know.
instead of being like super annoying and like, they were just like, duh, he started dressing better. Duh. Like, it's so funny. And they're also super supportive and super sweet. And
what do we say about 17?
They're the most mentally stable.
You're right. Actually, that's very true.
Yeah.
Carat.
The rest of us, I don't know. I'm not so sure.
The rest of us, dumb as bricks. Dumb as sack of rocks.
17 has the second best light stick in K-pop, and that's just narrowly beating like Dreamcatcher. I think has the best light stick in K-pop. 17, the version 2, has the second best light stick. So with that being said, I am a Carat. That is my fan journey. I'm here now and I'm stuck because I was thinking, like, I think a couple weeks ago I was like, oh man, at least I got into 17. BTS is gonna go into the army, so at least I have something. Like, when BTS is gone, and then I'm like, no, 17's S-Coups and Suga's BTS are probably gonna roll around the same time if we're being honest. So see you in 2025, folks. With that being said, I'm Yummy.com. Thank you for watching. Don't worry, I'll be back, so stay tuned, my internet friends.